Epilepsy warning for flashing lights and colors. Last week, I had the opportunity to attend the annual IAAPA trade show in Orlando, Florida. Standing for the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, this massive event brought together every corner of the amusement industry. Rides, food, theming, foliage, and even the sanitation solutions were on full display. For this video, we're going to dive into the highlights of the expo, focusing specifically on the newest rides and attractions that are set to make a splash in the market. So kick back on the couch and grab something to drink, because here are the highlights of the 2024 IAAPA Expo. Real quick before we get started though, a reminder to vote for the most anticipated roller coaster for 2025. I'll include a link in the description. And along with it, you can vote for the best reveal from this year's IAAPA Expo at the end of the video. That poll will be in the link as well. Anyway, let's kick things off with the fine folks at Swiss manufacturer Bolliger & Mabillard, or B&M for short. At IAAPA, B&M showed off the front car of Rapterra, an all-new launch wing coaster coming to Virginia's King's Dominion next year. This coaster is the long-awaited replacement for Volcano the Blast Coaster, and it's already generating major buzz. As part of the revitalized Jungle Expedition area, Rapterra ties together the thematic elements introduced in 2022. As its name implies, Rapterra is themed to a bird of prey, and the train design suits that theme perfectly. The vehicle's sleek design incorporates ancient symbols and patterns and a vibrant orange color. The symbols can be found throughout the Jungle Expedition area, tying it directly into the lore of a long-lost civilization. And in a tribute to its predecessor, the story and theming of the ride will center on an ancient temple that fell apart in a volcanic eruption. In recent years, King's Dominion has received high praise for its revitalized appearance, and this coaster will only add to the improved guest experience. Look for it to be one of the most talked about new attractions of 2025. Next up is Taiwanese manufacturer Brogent with an all-new flying theater attraction. Set to open next year, this ride will be found at the iconic Table Rock Center near Horseshoe Falls, part of the one and only Niagara Falls on the Canada side. This state-of-the-art attraction will replace the previous 4D theater. It will offer an immersive experience that showcases the breathtaking beauty, rich history, and cultural heritage of Niagara. According to Brogent, guests will soar along Horseshoe Falls, take in the dynamic views of historic landmarks, and hear stories celebrating the region's indigenous history. Moreover, every scene will be brought to life through innovative drone filming. This will perfectly capture the perspective of flying over the falls and chasing boats through the Niagara River, all without risking your life in a wooden barrel. This 4D show is set to enhance the Niagara Parks flagship site, providing guests with a fresh and engaging way to connect with one of the world's most iconic destinations. Over at German manufacturer Gerstlauer's booth, we have the Airtime coaster concept. Now I know what you're thinking, what is this, a coaster for ants? It should be at least 3 times bigger. Well, it's just a miniature model, and while the real coaster it represents may not be for ants, you'll be surprised at how low the height minimum is. Now according to Gerstlauer, this is not a quote-unquote family coaster. It will have the capability of intense inversions, launches, and ejector airtime moments. That said, it is family accessible with a minimum height of just 1 meter or 39 inches. For context, the minimum height of Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland is 40 inches. So yes, this coaster, no matter how intense it is, can be ridden by children who are too short for Big Thunder Mountain. How crazy is that? Imagine little Susie being able to experience the same kind of ejector airtime you get on Steel Vengeance. Now that's a great idea. Truly one of the standout coaster concepts on display. And while we're talking about things that stood out, Italian manufacturer IAAPA introduced a coaster that did just that. This ride, known as the Time Steer, is a compact coaster model with a figure-8 layout designed to pack big thrills into a small footprint. Featuring an airtime hill at the top and a roll at the bottom, this ride may resemble Skyline Attractions' Horizon model, but it incorporates several innovations that set it apart. Unlike the single-rail design of its predecessor, the Time Steer uses a standard roller coaster track engineered for low vibration and noise. This ensures a smoother, quieter ride. One of the standout features is the state-of-the-art LEM magnetic launch, adapted from their drifter coaster model. This linear eddy current motorized drive system replaces the Horizon's drive tires with spinning magnetic wheels. This new system is set to provide a seamless and efficient launch. With its compact size, cutting-edge launch system, and smoother ride experience, it's an ideal option for smaller parks looking to add a dynamic, space-saving attraction to their lineup. So don't be surprised if you see one of these attractions open up. Heading down the aisles to Swiss manufacturer Intamin, they're taking the concept of a family coaster to new heights and speeds. Their all-new Family LSM coaster bridges the gap between gentle family rides and high-thrill attractions. Whether it's Little Timmy, Grandma Florence, or Roderick, everyone can find something to love about this ride. According to Intamin, this ride is designed with family-friendly G-forces. This means it's still able to provide some decent airtime without being overwhelming. Intamin's family coasters have mainly featured a tire launch system, but as its name implies, this ride model has an LSM magnetic launch system. This makes the launches smoother and more dynamic. You can have swing launches, multi-directional launches, and even elements like spikes. And as if that weren't impressive enough, this model is capable of inversions. You heard that right, inversions on a family coaster. According to an interview, Intamin said that while it can't do anything quote-unquote super crazy, it's still capable of smooth inversions like heartline rolls, corkscrews, and vertical loops. Overall, Intamin has crafted a versatile ride that appeals to all generations. Now for Chinese manufacturer Jinma Rides, who brought by far the most surreal ride concept of the bunch, the lobster armor. At IAAPA, Jinma had this ride on display alongside their launch coaster and Ferris wheel models. The ride itself consists of a large robotic crustacean in the center with two main arms. With big meaty claws at the end, these arms can lift passengers into the air and flip them upside down. With a small footprint, a relatively mild ride experience, and a colorful appearance, this attraction is a perfect addition for small family parks. One other thing I noticed was the symbol on the side, O2EVA, perhaps a tribute to Evangelion. Well, if so,
get in the lobster, Shinji.
Now for German manufacturer Mack Rides. As you may remember, SeaWorld Orlando's old Wild Arctic simulator closed back in 2020, but recently the park announced a new flying theater ride to replace it. At IAAPA, it was confirmed that Mack Rides would be bringing their Airific flying theater model to Florida for the 2025 season. This attraction marks the first installation of the Airific model in the Western Hemisphere. At the trade show, a miniature model of the theater design was on display. This model consists of a massive spherical media screen paired with realistic motion effects. Plus, you can have special effects like wind, water, and scents. The motion system offers 4 degrees of freedom, creating a lifelike sensation of flight. Adding to the innovation, this ride employs a dual-sided rotating tower, allowing one group to load and unload while another enjoys the experience. This minimizes downtime and maximizes hourly capacity. For the installation at SeaWorld, guests will embark on a breathtaking journey through the frozen tundra, encountering marine life like beluga whales, orcas, and walruses. Passengers will even experience the aurora borealis, at any time of year, any time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within SeaWorld Orlando. With its cutting-edge technology, immersive effects, and educational theme, this attraction is said to be a standout addition to SeaWorld Orlando. Back on the subject of coasters,
German manufacturer Maurer Rides introduced 2 new powered coaster concepts.
In recent years, the company has been going all out with their spike coaster model, and it seems like new renditions of it are being revealed every year. For the past few years, there have been several interesting developments on the concept, and this year was no different. On the trade floor, Maurer had 2 concepts on display.
First, there was the giant 8-loop.
This surreal layout features a number of thrilling twists and turns, with the center feature being an enormous figure-8 loop. Such an inversion was long considered to be impractical on an ordinary roller coaster, but since Maurer's design is a powered coaster, this allows for controllable speed and forces that don't put riders at risk. In addition, the company had another model on display known as the Spike Tower. Just look at this beast. Now you'd assume that the coaster ascends the vertical section in the middle before winding down the tower. In the animated rendering though, you actually ascend the tower on the outside before finishing off with a controlled vertical drop down the center. In the past, we've seen similar concepts like this, but this is definitely a unique take on the design, so you really gotta give them credit for it. Plus, is it just me or does this look like the best souvenir cup ever? Me personally, I'd love to fill it with some berry lemonade Sunkist, my favorite. Before I forget, while it wasn't shown at IAAPA itself, Maurer recently revealed another model named the Spike Shamrock, and this coaster is exactly what it sounds like. This looks like something out of a No Limits 2 video, but it is in fact something a park can choose to order if they want. I'd love to see a miniature model of this at next year's IAAPA. Moving on, one new attraction I don't see a lot of people talking about is an all-new ride feature by Italian manufacturer Moser's Rides. Admittedly, not a whole lot was revealed about this one, but what we do know is that this is a rendition of Moser's Spring Ride. This is a mild family drop tower ride that bounces passengers up and down. At IAAPA, they introduced the option to have stand-up seats. These resemble a stand-up coaster seat, with a platform to stand on, an over-the-shoulder restraint, and a small bicycle seat for added stability. The restraint and seat design is actually the same one used on the company's Freestyle model, so this is basically two rides combined into one. Now, I wasn't able to get footage of this ride in operation, but it's certainly a memorable curiosity from the trade floor. Making a splash with their IAAPA debut is Turkish manufacturer Polgün with their Navatu water slide model. And I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, so feel free to correct me. This impressive slide is themed to a manta ray and has some truly standout features. Starting off at the top, you make your way down one of 4 different slides. The orange ones go under the manta ray, while the blue ones send riders into a ramp section on the pectoral fins. Each slide exits through the manta's mouth, allowing for 4 unique experiences that all end in the same place. One thing that really made this design stand out was its theming potential. The miniature model was certainly one of the most elaborate and impressive displays at the entire event. The attention to detail was insane, and it really gives you a good idea of what can be done with this ride. There's even an observation deck attached to the hook in the manta's mouth, and you can pretend that you just made the biggest catch on Earth. I just loved getting videos and photos of this model, and I'd love to see it open at a water park too. But Polgün isn't the only Turkish slide manufacturer we're talking about today. Up next is always a favorite of mine at IAAPA, Polin Waterparks. It seems like they're always coming out with new innovative slide designs every year. Well, this year was no different, as they revealed not just one, but 2 new slide designs. Have you ever wondered what would happen if they tried to make a Mobius strip water slide? Well, you can get pretty close with the all-new MobiLoop model. This compact, sleek slide design gives riders the option of going down one of 2 paths. You can take a high-speed curved drop on one side or encounter a small helix on the other. Both slides end with riders rocking back and forth on the bottom segment. According to Polin, quote, "MobiLoop isn't just a water slide, it's a destination for pure adrenaline and unforgettable memories." Another slide they announced was the awesome Surf Shell. Inspired by a nautilus, this spiraling slide features several memorable elements. Guests start by entering a large submarine centerpiece and boarding one of 2 slides. These slides are the same design, but mirrored on each side. The pathways include a thrilling downward spiral, a high-speed bowl section themed to a nautilus, and a final helix into the ending pool. Of course, it has the abstract design and vibrant colors that Polin is known for. Overall, another beautiful water slide concept from the fine folks at Polin. Also on the trade floor, Canada's Wonderland and Premier Rides unveiled the stunning lead vehicle for their upcoming Alpenfury coaster. This lead car was incredible in so many ways, both in design and from a theming perspective. This new coaster is tied to the story of the park's centerpiece, Wonder Mountain, taking place in the fictional Alpen village. The ride is based on the legend of the mountain's core, where fire and ice come together to create an unstoppable natural force. To fit the theme, the vehicle resembles a sleek Nordic sled. The sled's open design has minimal siding and no restrictive comfort collars, opting instead for a simple lap bar. This offers passengers a liberating, unobstructed experience that enhances the ride's thrills. An intense experience truly fitting of the chaotic combination of fire and ice. The vehicle is well suited for the intensity of Alpenfury and is meticulously crafted to handle the layout's 2 launches and 9 inversions. Just look at the ride's rendering. You can already tell it's going to be one hell of an experience. Perhaps literally a cold day in hell, in a good way. To sum it all up, Alpenfury has the potential to be perhaps the greatest coaster ever created by Premier Rides. At Proslide's booth, the company unveiled their latest innovation, the Hive, an eye-catching and versatile ride element set to debut in 2025. This prototype downward tube helix features a unique open-center design. It offers not only thrilling visuals, but also opportunities for creative theming for sliders to circle around. Parks can either go with an open or closed top, and they've got the option to add designs to the slide itself. The possibilities are endless. Even better, the Hive is adaptable to a wide range of ride systems, from tubing rides to water coasters and family attractions too. Whether implemented as a standalone feature or as part of a larger system, the Hive promises flexibility and customization to suit any park's needs. Next year, there are 2 Hives set to open to the public. There's this one, which is coming to Ohio's Columbus Zoo, and another one set for Guangzhou, China's Jinma Waterparks. Definitely exciting to see a new slide concept make its debut. Now it's time to talk about Ride Engineers Switzerland, or RES for short. A while back, I made a video discussing Mack Rides and their collaborations with Ride Engineers Switzerland. Well, now, a new Mack Rides concept is part of RES's catalog. This family ride, known as La Ola, is a unique concept described by RES as a great eye-catcher. The ride consists of several swinging gondolas that each sit either 2 or 4 people. The gondolas are connected to rotating arms around a central column. Similar to the old Hexentons ride, the experience promises near-miss moments with the other gondolas. Though marketed as a family ride, La Ola features adjustable speed, which can make the ride more intense for thrill seekers. There's also the option of adding interactive water features and theming, making this a great fit for smaller parks. But this isn't the only flat ride they offered on the trade floor. Though announced earlier this year, RES offered more details on the Airdiver M24. This highly thrilling flat ride seats guests in barrel-rolling gondolas. The gondola design is similar to the Skyroller and Skyfly from Gerstlauer. However, the main difference with this ride is the fact that each seat has its own motor. This makes it so much easier for passengers to flip, giving the ride a much less steep learning curve. You can also stop the seat rotation at any time by lifting the wings, as seen in the promotional video. With different ride programs and decoration options available, it's sure to be an appealing option for parks looking for an exciting flat ride. Now for the world-famous Rocky Mountain Construction, and I can safely say that their booth has never looked better. It really is awesome to see how the company has grown since the first time I went to IAAPA in 2017. That aside, they had some new and exciting attractions to display. First off, they revealed construction photos of Yoi, an all-new dueling Raptor coaster at Wallaby Holland. Another major reveal was a fully built seat for their Wild Moose coaster. You may remember the Wild Moose as an ambitious, compact family coaster concept by RMC. This model promises fun pops of airtime in a small footprint. Along with it is this new seat, which promises an ergonomic, comfortable, and safe ride experience. At last, RMC actually revealed a couple of new flat ride concepts. Recently, the company merged with Larson International, and with this merger comes a re-envisioned concept for the famous Flying Scooters ride. The Flying Scooters are a classic attraction that can be found in a number of amusement parks around the world. But RMC is taking the concept to the next level with the all-new Telescooters concept. The main feature of this ride is a telescoping tower which can go up to 75 feet tall. This allows passengers to swing and soar at a much greater height than the classic scooters. The telescoping feature allows the tower to extend during the ride and lower when not operating to prevent wind shear damage. Another telescoping attraction was this all-new observation tower. In addition to giving guests stunning views of the park, there's also the option to include bars or cafes as well. You can even have live music. I'd personally love to have a macchiato on one of these. And speaking of sweet, American manufacturer S&S Sansei had a tasty reveal of their own with a new ride vehicle set for Pennsylvania's Hershey Park. This new attraction, known as Twizzler's Twisted Gravity, will be the world's tallest scream and swing ride at 137 feet tall, or about 42 meters. Now, if you've never ridden one of these, I can safely tell you that these are awesome flat rides. Ever since I first rode it at Lake Compounce, I've loved the airtime and adrenaline-packed experience they provide. So to see yet another record-breaking scream and swing open up is just spectacular. At IAAPA, S&S and Hershey Park showed off one of the massive gondolas. They also gave away free Twizzlers, which was pretty cool too. That said, this is yet another sweet and thrilling addition for Hershey Park, and I can't wait to visit again next year. Now for a rather unexpected addition to this list, Sunkid. Sunkid is usually known for their smaller family attractions like the Butterfly Coaster, but this is certainly a big step forward for them. What is it? Well, it's an elegant new thrill ride known as the Rocking Tower. According to Sunkid, it is the most thrilling family ride in their catalog, offering a new ride concept and signature design. What it does is it takes passengers up the base of the tower, with the wheel bogies being pulled up a curved track. Guests start in a sit-down position before the path tilts them into a face-down prone position at a 75-degree tilt. Once they're in position at the top, the gondola drops in a freefall before swinging back and forth. This allows for both heart-stopping thrills and astounding scenic views. The model they had on display really gave you a great idea of what the experience would be like. It would be pretty cool to see one of these attractions open and find out just how thrilling they are in real life. Now let's head over to the world of dark rides with Canadian manufacturer Triotech. This year, they announced an all-new compact ride system. For the most part, this attraction is a mystery, but an interesting one nonetheless. Said to be coming to the new Discovery Center parks in Saudi Arabia, this dark ride will feature an all-new system from Triotech. Similar to Disneyland's Submarine Voyage, this ride will feature vehicles that are relatively long and can sit people back to back. This will give every passenger an unobstructed view. The ride will feature a wide range of motion, as well as special effects like wind, ticklers, scent, heat, and smoke. From a design perspective, it'll be interesting to see how the innovations on this dark ride will carry over to future Triotech attractions. Before we continue, I want to give a special shout out to some honorable mentions on the trade floor. First, there was this surreal display from Avius. I can't say that I had emoji-covered toilets on my IAAPA bingo card, but here we are. In all seriousness though, this is a service that allows guests to rate their restroom experience. I think we can all agree that there are amusement parks that can use one of these. Definitely one of the standout booths from IAAPA, an absolute eye-catcher for sure. Meanwhile, Cloward H2O partnered with Caliber Engineering on a miniature model of an artificial rapids concept. With the advent of new technology, artificial rapids are becoming more and more common, whether it's for training Olympic athletes or for the general public. This miniature model gives a good idea of what the design process is like. The obstacles and flow are highly customizable. Even more impressive is the use of VR technology. This is used to determine where the current is the strongest and where sediment is most likely to collect. This is truly a fascinating display that I just had to mention here. Next, on the tastier side, was Le Chic Pastier, a New Jersey company that makes European quality pastries. The pastry tower immediately caught my eye, as did the display of some of the most delicious looking treats I've seen on one table. But what really won over my taste buds were the free samples of by far the most butteriest waffles ever. For my animatronic enthusiast viewers, there were plenty at the event as well. These included High-Tech Commercial Solutions, who featured an interactive Bigfoot animatronic and some charming singing chickens.
Nearby, there was also Billings Productions,
who had an intimidating Megalania, a colorfully bizarre peacock shrimp, and an adorable baby Triceratops figure. Another memorable animatronic was this killer bunny from Singapore-based company Mascot Enterprise. For some reason I thought he was flat out adorable, despite the fact that he looks like he could rip me to shreds and eat my pancreas. Feel like having more dessert? Well, check out Sub-Zero ice cream and yogurt. This was just outside of the trade floor on the second floor of the convention center. This company actually uses liquid nitrogen to instantly freeze its ice cream mix. Now you may think that this method would cause the ice cream to have big chunks of ice in it, but on the contrary, this was some of the most smoothest, richest ice cream I've ever had. I could even lift up the cup with the spoon. By the way, that's raspberry and cake batter ice cream, and it was delicious. As for rides, Italian manufacturer SBF Visa showcased their zero-gravity flat ride on the trade floor. This is pretty much a revitalized version of the classic Chance rotor, with a rapidly spinning drum using centripetal force to stick riders to the wall. Though it's been on the market for several years, 2024 saw the attraction make its American debut at New Jersey's Casino Pier. Many people haven't heard of this attraction, and now SBF wants to make it front and center. With features like a transparent wall and on-ride cameras, you can easily see a park investing in one of these. Finally, I want to give a special shout out to a fan I met, Cole Gribble. Not only did he design some of these creative car designs at GCI's booth, but he showed me a roller coaster train he 3D printed himself. The detail on this was insane, and it's always awesome to see so much enthusiasm when it comes to engineering. Definitely one of the most memorable interactions I had at the show, so big shout out to Cole. Now for perhaps the biggest reveal for coaster enthusiasts. Dutch manufacturer Vekoma unveiled the lead car for the extremely promising Tecuani Beast. This new extreme level thrill coaster is set to debut at Bonn Luxury Park, part of the Vidanta World Resort in the Mexican state of Nayarit. This car has a stunning reptilian design. It's sleek, vibrant, colorful, and extremely memorable. Vekoma also revealed a new video rendering of the coaster, as well as some crucial details to show just how groundbreaking it is. In addition to being Latin America's first double-launch coaster, Tecuani Beast will have over 16 seconds of airtime, as well as 6 inversions, and a total of 20 inventive track elements. One element in particular that's gotten attention is the double rollover top hat. Enthusiasts are naturally going bananas over this element, and it's yet another reminder that the possibilities of coaster engineering are constantly evolving. People are saying this has the potential to be not only the best coaster in Mexico, but one of the top coasters on Earth.
And an amazing train like this is definitely worthy of being on such an awesome looking attraction.
Back on the subject of water slides is Canadian manufacturer WhiteWater West. At the expo, they revealed more details about the upcoming expansion to Wisconsin Dells Kalahari Water Park. This southern Wisconsin city is already home to countless water parks, and this one in particular is about to get a huge upgrade. On the floor, WhiteWater showcased a model of what the finished refurbishment would look like. Like other displays, I loved getting close-up shots of the intricate details. One of the new slides they're adding is a first ever for WhiteWater, the world's first covered boomerango model. According to WhiteWater, designing the covering was an engineering challenge, and they pretty much had to design the cover from scratch. This covered slide is going to allow riders to experience the model's thrills no matter what weather. The Dells is already a premier destination for water slide enthusiasts, and this is going to make it stand out even more. At last, we have Italian manufacturer Zamperla with an extremely unexpected announcement. This is an all-new roller coaster coming to France's Parc Spirou. The crazy part is that this coaster will be themed to the world-famous manga series Naruto. Set to open in 2026, it will be the star attraction of a new Naruto-themed area. This attraction will be a mostly low-to-the-ground family launch coaster with a number of standout elements. These include 2 tire launches, a switch track, and a dead-end spike. For something intended for families, it certainly looks like an engaging and highly thrilling attraction. And for coaster enthusiasts who are fans of Naruto, this is pretty much a must-ride. That's bio. Well, that's all for IAAPA this year, and it was definitely another amazing experience. But what did you think? What was your favorite reveal? Feel free to vote in my poll, linked in the description.
Now it's time for the comment shoutout program. This is where I take 5 random comments from my previous video and read them out.
These comments are from my video on roller coasters that went way too far. I Don't Care 49 says, the pizza, yeah, from the intro. I had a pizza like this from Little Fully Loaded with pepperonis and still ate it, didn't know I could just sell it for like 100 and get all that profit. Jatsbeth Stappen 9814 says, what I don't understand is how and or why parks containing coasters seem to burn down so often. QDK55 says, Lightning Rod was fun. I had to wait for 2 hours to ride it since it broke down and had to be worked on, but it was fun. The original Top Thrill was way better than 2. The Sonic Sean says, I-305 might have lower ridership than Dominator anyway. Dominator is at the front of the park, while you have to walk to Tennessee to get to I-305. And Decent Potato says, I'm not that much of an enthusiast anymore, but I want to say thank you for giving hours and hours of entertainment to young me. I'm happy you're getting sponsorships and stuff now. You are awesome. Keep going. Well, you're awesome too, Decent Potatoes. Thanks for watching.
If you want to see your words in my next video, leave a comment down below and it may be selected. Please note though that inflammatory or spam comments will not be read.
Thank you all so much, and if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so once again at the link in the description.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, or you can check out my website at themeparkcrazy.com.
And I'm on TikTok.
This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.